I'm Mahaffey, and this is Charlie Chapman behind me. If you don't know who that guy is, you're crazy. Go look him up. He's really cool. For right now, what I'm going to be talking about is how the Japanese show their culture in their anime. And for those who don't know what anime is, it's basically cartoons from Japan. I'll show you. Let's dive in. So Bleach is about a kid, Ichigo, 14 years old to start out with. It's either 14 or 18, it's roughly around those ages. He's a high school student. So as a high school student, first off, it does show high school and their schooling systems. It shows the uniforms of traditional Japanese students. So you can actually see their schooling systems from going to class to class to class to class all the way up until night. Like, these people work their butt thing. Also, their school uniforms, it's kind of traditional over there. We don't have that. If we started using school uniforms, someone would flip a lid and sue some school for our freedom, whatever, right? But there's kind of a normal thing. Next, the kind of main storyline is Ichigo gets Soul Reaper powers in order to fight Hollows. You don't really need to know all that, but basically he gets power to beat someone else. And that's kind of the main storyline throughout the whole entire anime. Nothing changes. He gets power to beat someone else. That's it, right? And you can kind of take that and look at it and kind of go, okay, let's relate it to business. In the Japanese world, if you don't own a business, you're kind of nothing. You're kind of dirt unless you're working for someone who's big, right? But if you own a business, you're kind of there. You're kind of where Ichigo started out. He had power, right? He had a little bit of power, and if power is value, then a business owner's kind of there, right? But if you're a CEO, you're Ichigo at the end of the anime. You're up there because Ichigo had all the power. He's really, really high up there, right? But throughout the anime, Ichigo had to use that power and fight other people and get his power, more power, and beat other people. And why is that? Well, if you relate it to the CEO, CEOs have to fight other people to get their franchise out and show them, look, I have this value. I am valuable. Let me show you what I can do. And it's kind of like that. If power is value in the real world, then that is that. That's how they show their culture. It's not about power in the anime, it's about value. If you kind of translate it. It's really nice how they hid that. It's really cool. The next anime we're going to be looking at is Death Note. And Death Note, it's really done well. It's about a kid, go figure, it's about another kid, who finds a notebook. But this notebook's kind of got an evil side to it. As soon as he writes a name of somebody, it kills him. So this kid has a sense of justice, and his justice is kind of high. He wants to rid the world of anybody who did a crime. Even if you're going 30 miles in a 20-mile-an-hour zone, in a school zone, like, he will kill you. So later on in the anime, everybody is worried but they're worried to do any crime, right? So crime rate is at an all-time low, which is awesome. So he wants to rid the world of almost everybody who did a crime and start over. So how can we take that? Well, their sense of justice over there is kind of different than ours. They treat their criminals a little bit more harshly than we do. We give, in our prison systems, we give our criminals TVs, we give our 3 meals. Like, it's much nicer, cushiony than over there. Over there it's a lot harder, it's a lot more tougher to live. So because it's a lot more tougher, crime rate is lower because there's fear of getting caught, right? So we can take that and kind of look at it and see that their justice over there is shown through their anime. It's really nice. It's really nicely done as well. This last anime I'm going to be talking about is Full Metal Alchemist. Full Metal Alchemist is a really nicely done anime about 2 brothers who try to resurrect their mom after she died with alchemy. It doesn't work because they didn't use the rule of equivalent exchange. Equivalent exchange basically means if you don't give something of equal value, you won't get equal value in return, right? That's it in a wrap. That's the short-term version. So because they didn't negate it, the kid lost an arm and a leg, and like it took its equal value, right? It just stole it. The other kid was turned into an armor suit, but he walks around all free like. So it's okay, right? So they walk around, and every episode you hear equivalent exchange labeled out. If you don't give something equal value, you won't get equal value in return, right? Each episode, this is said before the episode is played. And I think this is the reason why, because over there in Japan, this is stressed so badly. You've got many, many religions over there. And they each, almost every single one of them, play with this theory. That each one of them give this theory in a different sense, like karma. Karma says if you do something bad will happen to you. Well, this is kind of a different flip on it. Give something good will happen to you. I think the reason why this is stressed so badly in Japan is because in Japan you've got all these different religions, and almost every religion plays on this theory. So another huge thing to point out in this anime is their sense of transportation. One of their sense of transportations is trains. Now, we don't use trains in America, do we? They've kind of been outdated. They're not used for public transportation. They're kind of used for stock transportation. So, if we look in Japan, Japan has been using trains for God knows how long. They've been using trains and been updating their trains now for high-speed trains. China's been using high-speed trains. Everyone's kind of using high-speed trains for a long time now. For a couple years, 4 or 5 years now. I don't know the exact date, but they're using high-speed trains, and trains nonetheless. In this anime, almost every episode you see a train ride because they're going to different places. But you're also seeing cabs, other people's vehicles being borrowed or used. And you're also seeing a lot of walking. So you're also seeing all these different types of transportation where in America you would not normally. And normal cartoons here, you don't see train rides. You don't see just walking to different places. You would normally see their own vehicles being taken out to go drive somewhere. That's what you would normally see. So it's a lot more different than, it's more different than seeing a Japanese anime taking these different spins on it. So it's really cool how they take what is normal to them to be put in their anime, where it's different for us to see it. That's all the time I have for now, so thank you guys for watching this. Adios.